I walked in, it was packed. And what do you think I saw? What do you think I saw?
What did you see?
Exactly what I thought I was gonna see.
What?
80 women sitting alone. No men in sight. None.
I saw so many black women try to solve a problem in dating by starting to host events in person, trying to create third spaces to facilitate dating like offline. And you know what would happen every single time? The men were not signing up. They would be selling tickets to speed dating, and they would always end up with men's tickets on sale. Always, because they weren't buying any. Just the other day, a big account that I follow for black creatives did like this cute Cupid thing where they were like, hey, send us a profile about yourself and we would love to post it and like play matchmaker. Sounds like a cute idea, right? Not one single man sent their profile in. And mind you, this is an account that has well over 100,000 followers. It's just time to stop. It's time to stop. They have made it very loud and clear that they do not
singles event, and here's why I think we're doomed to be single for the rest of our lives. That was a bit dramatic, but let me tell my story. So I went to singles night at Union Church's Charlotte campus. Now, I don't go to that church, but I started following Pastor Stephen since he was a guest pastor at my church earlier this month. And when I found out that he was writing a book on dating and relationships, I was interested because, listen, your girl could use some divine intervention in that area. But I'll be honest, I didn't want to go at first. I figured it's a Christian singles event. There's going to be 11 women there and like 2 men. Plus, they were advertising it as a conversation that you wouldn't expect to have at church. And I thought, I've heard enough of those modern dating and relationship podcasts. I don't need to hear any more, especially not with a biblical spin. Instead of having meaningful conversations about finding and building Christ-centered relationships,
we just left the event, right? So I think we were just saying that we think that we've actually hit rock bottom.
No, it was actually.
We think we've actually hit rock bottom, and I think we were either punked, catfished,
like
or
it felt like a sick joke.
And my spirit, while I was there, my spirit told me, no mas, por favor. I am not going to no more of these. Okay? That rhymed. Period. I'm not going to anymore, and here's why. So that singles event was cool because they actually had a mix and mingle session at the end where they put us in a very cool atmosphere for people to talk and meet with each other. Although there was like 3 men there and 300 women, I loved the fact that they did that. I thought that was really cool. But my thing is, you go to one single event, you go to them all. They got the same message, and I'm gonna tell y'all what they be saying so that you can know ahead of time. If you feel like you're called to go, go. If you feel like the Lord is telling you to go, go. If you've never been, go. If you want to mix and mingle with other single people, go. But let me tell you, this is gonna be the singles conference starter pack. I'm gonna tell you what you're gonna get. Okay?
I'm gonna get hate for this, but whatever. I approached a black man this week at like a dating event, and he was not interested in me, and that by itself is like not a great story, right? I tried to shoot my shot, he was not interested, I moved on. But immediately after I walked away from this man, he went up to a group of 5 white women and he introduced himself to all of them. And then I kind of observed out of like the corner of my eye for the rest of the evening, this man was only going up and talking to different white women. Later that night, another very attractive black man came in, the exact same thing, only talked to the white women that were in the room. There were maybe 6 or 7 black women throughout, and I could tell. I would look over at the black women occasionally, they would be looking, we would all be observing the same thing. We're all thinking the same thing, right? And as someone who has reviewed a bunch of different like dating events, I have seen this play out so many times where you walk into a room, the black women are looking for other black men, and the black men are not looking for black women. Unless the host of the event is like a black person or a person of color. And as much as I say that I am going to start dating outside my race, my mind, whenever I walk into like...
Shalom, Israel. Call halal YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, double honors to the elders and apostles, the great master and teacher, move well. Peace and salutations be to the hopeful elect. Brother Talzah, I'm coming at you from the prophets in Babylon camp here in Tampa, Florida. So this is going to be touching bases on this video I ran across on Instagram. They're talking about these, it's just a bunch of Jake women talking about how these These Judite men ain't looking for Judite women no more, you know. Now they've been going to these singles events, dating events or whatever. And they're saying it was like 300 women and 3 men, you know, which is overestimate. Of course, she's over-exaggerated, but if you think about it spiritually, 300 women to 3 men, that's going to be the ratio in the times we're coming into, you know. All these women are going to be clinging to, and really they all could have walked out there with a husband that night if they all would have just put aside their pride and became sisters, you know. But these women are too prideful, especially the so-called black women, you know, too prideful to even consider anything like that. And that's why they end up going home alone and aging alone. You know, they spent all their youth being a harlot, being a city girl, and then now that they're old, they want to settle down. Nobody's gonna want that, you know. That's why they go into these dating events and singles events, because now they don't get men walking up to them asking for the number no more. They wanted to play the harlot back in the day, right? And you still see it today. These youthful women still play the harlot. They got like they're too good for you. 20 years later, when she's all spoiled and saggy, 18 kids, she want to hit your phone, blow your phone up. Hey, you remember me? We met the other year, and 20 years ago, bitch. These women are desperate now. It's getting to the point where they're getting desperate because they're reaching the end of their lives, and they're starting to see wrinkles when they look in the mirror. They're starting to wake up in the morning, look in the mirror, they start to see cracks in their face. They know that their time is coming to an end, and they still ain't got no husband. All right, and you wonder why that is. It's because you're prideful, you're a harlot, and you don't want to listen to nobody. You will not submit. Okay, Judite women have a reputation of these 3 attributes. And you think a Judite man gonna want that stress? No. Why would a man voluntarily add stress into his life? That's only logic and common sense. You know. I'm gonna grab it here. Book of Isaiah chapter 13 and verse 12. Matter of fact, I'll start at verse 11. I will punish the world for their evil and the wicked for their iniquity, and I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease, and will lay low the haughtiness of the terrible. I will make a man more precious than fine gold, and the word precious goes into rare. It means rare. Lord said he's going to make a man more rare than fine gold. Okay, he's going to be hard to find. It's going to be hard to come across, hard to obtain. All right, what makes something so expensive is its rarity. Okay, it's hard to find, hard to obtain, so it's going to be more expensive. All right, which these women are finding out the hard way today. All right, but how much more in the days we're coming into, when a lot of these men go perish in the wars and famine and pestilence. All right, I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man than the golden wedge of Ophir. All right. Now, and a lot of these men aren't even men. All right, when you look at what men were in the old times, Scripture says, "Seek out the old paths wherein is the right way." When you look upon the old past and you see what kind of men the Scriptures spoke about, okay, these were men of war. These were men these were masculine men, okay? These men were conquerors. These men were bold. These men were confident and leaders of their houses, okay? These were real men. You barely got that today already. There's already a scarcity of a real man. All right, well, how much more of that day when you when things get crucial and it's hard to come across a man. The Scriptures say a man shall desire to hear another man's voice. Okay, it's gonna be like that. All right, it's gonna be that bad. Okay, majority of these men are gonna be sent off to war. All right, and then a lot of them are gonna die in that pestilence, famine, and the inside war that's gonna be taking place here in America. Okay, these women gonna be hiding and shit, and then they gonna come out when all majority of the men are gone and start looking the streets looking for men to protect them from the next danger, from the next wind, from the next peril. All right. But it says, I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man than the golden wedge of Ophir. So if the Lord gonna make a man so rare, how much more the man of the Lord, right? He gonna make the man of the Lord so rare. These are gonna be and they're already rare. It's already a rarity for a woman to just stumble across a man of the Lord. All right, they never know, you know. They don't know. They don't know which man is righteous or not. They can't tell. That has to be revealed through talks. But you're gonna see it in that day. You're gonna see majority, or you're gonna see, if you do see men walking around and they're got a calm look on their face. They're stable. Okay. They ain't got no fears. They're not afraid of anything. They're taken care of. Their cheeks still full. All right, meaning they're not starving. The Lord taking care of them. That's when you're gonna know. Oh shit, this must be a man of the Lord. Look at him. He's fed. He's taken care of. He looks like he knows where he's going. He knows what he's doing. He's not afraid. Okay, these are the kind of man that these women are gonna really want, and they're gonna cling to hard in that day. It says, even a man than the golden wedge of Ophir. All right, so a man of the Lord is gonna be very precious in that day. Right here says in the book of Isaiah chapter 4 and verse 1. It says, in that day, I'll grab the NLT. In that day, so few men will be left that 7 women will fight for each man, saying, let us all marry you. We will provide our own food and clothing. Only let us take your name so we don't be mocked as old maids. So look at these women going to these dating events and these singles events or whatever. All right, paying a loathsome full of money to get into these events, to get tickets to these events or whatever, and only a few men showing up. And they making these videos saying, I think men have had enough of us. Well, what did you expect? You know, you treated the man like shit and then still expect him to chase you? You want to play the harlot majority of your life, and then now that you all old and dusty and saggy, you think a man's going to really want to take you up? No, man. That's foolish. These women live in cartoons. They live fantasy lives. But it says 7 women going to take hold of women. It says it will fight for each man, saying, let us all marry you. All right? They're going to eventually come to a point, you know what, just take all of us, as long as we can all just be with you. You know, a woman is going to say, forget about it. You know, eventually, look, that pride in her that stuck within her, she's still stuck and stiff on, is going to wither away. And especially in the time of Jacob's trouble. This is a critical time period where women are really not, women are going to get with the program. If you brothers worried about women, do not worry about women, man. These are just, matter of fact, let me grab the definition of it before I say it. The word I was going to say was commodities. Women are just commodities. It says commodity is a useful or valuable thing that can be bought and sold. All right. So a woman is useful. A woman can be useful and valuable. A woman can be a helpmate, you know, if you're at work or outside conquering the world. A woman at home preparing you a homemade meal so that you can come home and recover and go out the next day and conquer the world again. Okay, and her job is to keep refueling you as long as it takes until your dying breath. All right, you gotta, and really these kind of women, these godly women are given to godly men. So Lord gonna give a godly woman to a woman that does what she's supposed to do. Okay? And a man that does what he's supposed to do. These are godly beings. All right? They were doing what they were created to do. All right? The time and era that we live in, these women aren't women and these men are not men. All right? Neither do they have an awareness of a higher power. But we do. Okay? And to be godly, you must have an awareness of the Lord. You must be serving the Lord. All right? Doing what he said is right to do. And not doing what he said is wrong to do. Okay? I'll grab back Isaiah 4:1. And the NIV says, "In that day 7 women will take hold of one man and say, we will eat our own food and provide our own clothes. Only let us be called by your name. Take away our disgrace." These women are going to be, you're going to have a lot of cougars chasing you down in the streets. A lot of young women chasing you down in the streets. All right? There's really, these women are really going to revert back to their original use. All right? Because they abandoned their natural use, and now they go after their desires and pick and choose whatever they want. You got that Pop the Balloon show. I hate that shit, man. It's just a modern, it's just showing you what Babylon really is all about. You know, that's what people come here for, is the freedom to choose what you want to do. This woman got the freedom to choose what man they want. That was never the case, okay? That's when, now you got a country full of harlots because of that. All right, this man, the woman don't like this man because, and you hear the reasons these women pop their balloons. It's just fucking, it's aggravating, man. I didn't like the way you laughed. It was giving weird vibes to me. I didn't like the way you dress. I don't like those pants. Those pants are just not my type. So I had to pop my balloon. I can't do it. What the fuck? You know? Imagine when all hell breaking loose and people eating each other, and you know. Killing each other to get food. You think a woman gonna be worried about the type of pants a man is wearing? I don't know, man. These women, that's why these women gonna go through it the worst. They had the freedom to choose what they wanted to do, and they chose bullshit. Just like in the garden. You know, you let a woman make a decision or take her opinion or whatever, things become destroyed. All right. Now these women are crying and really worrying and really stressing because they can't find men. All right? Well, these scriptures are coming to pass. Okay? It's gonna get bad out here, man. It's gonna get real bad. And brothers gonna be running from these women. Brothers are gonna be running from these women. All right? They're gonna be begging you up and down the streets. The same woman that may have turned you down before, or rejected you, or didn't respond to your messages or your beckon calls, whatever. Hey, the same woman gonna be chasing you down in that day like you a bottle of water in a desert, man. A bottle of ice cold water in a desert. These women will hawk you down in the streets. You're gonna have to beat them off you. You know, get the hell off me. Get off me, man. You know, this woman gonna go crazy just to find you. So don't ever get beside yourselves, brothers. These women are, shit, let them suffer. You know, let them suffer. It's a part of the prophecy. It's a part of scriptures. These women gotta suffer. They've been too unruly. They've been too careless. They gotta feel what it's like. They gotta feel the effects of being careless. You know, don't expect to live a careless life, and then at the end of your life reap what you didn't sow. You know, it's just foolishness. But I truly hope this quick lesson in transit was edifying to you. I can not walk through listening to the sincerity. So next me, I give all glory, honor, praises unto YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, SHAMAIWAN, Shalom.